everyone, welcome to our podcast channel today. My name is Yel Sandiasa with student ID number 192508991. I am an information student at Binasara Informatika University. Today, I will be your host for our first session, and together with me is my partner. Go ahead, please introduction yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Fadli Mukhairuddin with student ID number 1924243I. I'm also an information system student at Dina Sarana Informatika University. In the first session, I will act as the guest speaker. We are very excited to deliver our presentation today.
That's right, for our first topic, we are going to talk about something we ask every single day, which is the internet, specifically its evolution and how it impacts our life as IT student. So, Fadli, let's start with a basic question. How do you think the internet has changed the way you study today compared to student 10 or 20 years ago?
It's a great question to start with, Yunus. In my opinion, the transformation is massive. Think about it. 10 or 20 years ago, if students wanted to find research for the assessment, they had to walk to the library, select through handwritten or physical books, and have the book they need was borrowed by someone else. But today, everything is at fingertips. As IT student, when we face a bug in our program or a programming error, we don't look at books, we just open Google to Stack Overflow or watch YouTube tutorial apps a huge amount of time.
Okay, I completely agree with you. The accessibility is amazing. I can even imagine doing my programming assignment without the internet. But Fadli, don't you think this easy access also brings a big challenge? For example, when we open our laptop to study, we often get distracted by social media, online games, or streaming platform. What is your perspective on this?
You hit the nail on the head, Yunus. That is actually a serious issue called cyberloafing in the academic world. It's very easy to lose focus. You intend to open a coding documentation tab, but then you see a notification from Instagram or TikTok, and suddenly you've spent 30 minutes scrolling through videos. It decreases our productivity. So while the internet gives us unlimited knowledge, it also demands high self-discipline. If we can control ourselves, our grade will suffer.
True, it's all about balance and self-control now. Let's look it from a more technical and academic side. We are moving toward the era of 5G and the Internet of Things (IoT). How do you see the future of the Internet affecting our education system? Maybe like a smart campus?
The future is very exciting. Yes. With faster internet like 5G and IoT, our campus can become much smarter. For instance, we could have automated attendance system using facial recognition or IoT sensor. Classroom automatically adjust the lighting and temperature based on the number of students. Moreover, online learning will become even more immersive. We might use virtual reality to simulate complex computer network configuration without needing expensive physical router. The internet will make education not just online, but highly interactive.
That sounds like a dream campus. Well, thank you so much, Fadli, for sharing your insight about the internet. It's clear that the internet is a double-edged sword. It offers amazing benefits for our studies, but also significant distraction.
Please, Sir Dennis, it was a great discussion.
Alright, viewers, that concludes our first topic. Don't go anywhere because for the next topic, we are going to switch roles. Fadli will become the host, and I will be the your speaker. See you in the next session.
Welcome back to the second session of our podcast. I am Fadli, taking over as your host for this topic. And here with me is Yunus, who will now act as our guest speaker. In the session, we are going to discuss a tool that sounds simple but is absolutely critical in professional and academic communication: email. Yunus, welcome to the speaker seat.
Thanks, Fadli. I'm excited to dive into this topic. It's funny how people think email is old-fashioned, but it's actually still super important.
Exactly, that's actually my very first question for you. Nowadays, we have instant messaging applications like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Discord. They are fast and easy to use. So, why do you think universities and professional companies still rely heavily on email as their primary communication tool?
That is a fundamental question. Fadli, the main reason is formality and documentation. WhatsApp or Discord are great for casual chat, but they are not designed for official record. Imagine if you submit your final thesis or revision to your lecturer via WhatsApp. The message and the message called as we get buried under hundreds of other chats. Files on WhatsApp can also expire and become undownloadable after a few days. Email, on the other hand, created a permanent, organized, and legally binding record. It has a clear structured subject line, a professional greeting, the body text, and closing signature. It shall respond on professionalism.
You are absolutely right. The structure makes a huge difference. Speaking of structure, as students, we often hear lecture complain about how students send them email. From your observation, what are the most common mistakes students make when emailing a lecture, and how should it actually be done?
Oh, Elify seen and heard about this a lot. The most common mistake is leaving the subject in blank or putting the entire message inside in the subject line. Another mistake is using informal language or slang, like "Hi from this segment, please check it." That is very unprofessional. The correct way is to read it like a formal letter. You start with a proper greeting like their nurture X or their professional Y double. Then you introduce yourself clearly with your name and student ID number. After that, explain the purpose of your email clearly, mission and attachment your include and use way sincerely or regards. Followed by your name, it sounds simple but show your character as an educated person.
Wow, that is a very important lesson for all of us. I hope our viewers take notes on them. Now, let's pivot slightly to the cybersecurity side. Since we are IT students, email is often used as a tool for cyber attack, like spamming and phishing. Can you explain briefly what phishing via email is and how we as students can protect ourselves?
This is critical security issue Fadli. Phishing is a method where cyber criminals send fake emails that look actually like official emails. For example, friendly to be from our university, IT department, or a blank. They might say, your student account is locked. Click this link to reset your password. If you click that link and enter credentials, they steal your password and hack your account. To protect ourselves, we must always check that the sender's actual email address, not just the display name. Official campus emails will always use the university domain's name. Also, never click on subficles link or download attachment from unknown senders.
Brilliant explanation, Yunus. So, email is not just about writing letter, but also about understanding communication, ethics, and cyber security. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge today.
And secondly, it's been a pleasure discussion this with you.
Alright, viewer, that's bring us to the end of our podcast episode. We have discussed about the internet and email from an academic and physical practical perspective today. We hope you found this discussion valuable. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.